Smart phonics. Today we are going to see about consonants with more than one sound. The consonants Y, C and G have more than one sound. We know that Y is a consonant, but Y is sometimes a vowel. Y is always a consonant if it is at the beginning of a word or a syllable. For example, yak. Here Y is at the beginning of the word. Beyond. If you split the word into syllables, then Y is at the beginning of a syllable. So, in these cases, Y has the consonant sound Y. At all other times, Y is a vowel. If Y is the only vowel in the syllable, then Y sounds like short I or long E or long I. It mostly takes the short sound in closed syllables and long sound in open syllables. For example, gym. Here Y has the short I sound E. 50. Here Y has the long E sound E. Cry. Here Y has the long I sound I. If Y has a vowel before it in the syllable, for example, say, key, guy, boy, then these patterns have their own vowel sounds. When two letters combine to form one sound, then it is called a digraph. We have not seen these digraphs so far, so we will discuss this concept later on. Y as a vowel. If Y is the only vowel in the syllable, in a one-syllable word, then Y sounds like short I if it is in the middle of the word. For example, gym. Here Y is in the middle of a word. If Y is the only vowel in the syllable, in a one-syllable word, then Y sounds like long I if it is at the end of the word. For example, fry. Here Y is at the end of the word. If Y is the only vowel in the syllable, in a multi-syllable word, then Y sounds like short I if it is in the middle of the word and in the middle of the syllable. For example, system. If you divide it into syllables, then Y is in the middle of the syllable, so it sounds like short I. If Y is the only vowel in the syllable, in a multi-syllable word, then Y sounds like long I if it is in the middle of the word and at the end of the syllable. For example, hyper. If you divide the word into syllables, then Y is at the end of the syllable, so it sounds like long I. If Y is the only vowel in the syllable in a multi-syllable word, usually Y sounds like long E if it is at the end of the word and at the end of the syllable. For example, 50. If you divide the word into syllables, then Y is at the end of the word and at the end of the syllable, so it sounds like long E. Sometimes Y sounds like a long E if it is at the end of the word and at the end of the syllable. For example, supply. Here also Y is at the end of the word and at the end of the syllable, but sometimes it sounds like long I. Vowel sounds of the consonant Y. So we saw that Y has a short vowel sound and a long vowel sound. So we are updating the table. Y under short I, Y under long E, and Y under long I. Next concept we are going to see is the other sounds of C and G. It is called as soft C and soft G. If C is before the letters E, I or Y, then C sounds like the letter S. If G is before the letters E, I or Y, then G sounds like the letter J, J. We know the usual sound of C is K, and that is called as the hard C. Now we have learned the soft sound of C. and send, p and pencil, and fancy. Here we are pronouncing C as S because it is before the letter E, I and Y. The usual sound of G is G, and that is called as a hard G. And now we learned the soft sound of G, J. J A M, gem. J A st, gist. J A M, gym. Here we pronounce G as J because it comes before the letter E, I and Y. Earlier we saw that letter C has no unique sound of its own. It sounds like the letter K. Now we know that it sounds like the letter S, but still it doesn't have a unique sound of its own. The letter C has no unique sound of its own. It either sounds like the letter K or the letter S. When it sounds like the letter K, it is called as hard C, and when it sounds like the letter S, it is called as soft C. Here are some examples and exceptions of soft C. Hard C sound K, K-ap, cap, K-ought, caught, and so on. Soft C sound S, S-A-N-S, us, census, and accent, S-A-V-A-L, civil, S-A-N-S-A-L, stencil, cyber, fancy, fancy. Here are some more examples of soft C. There are some exceptions to the soft C rule. In these two cases, C sounds like sh, spacious, ferocious, special, facial. Examples and exceptions of soft G. Hard G sound G, G-ap, gap, G-ought, got, and so on. Here are some more examples of hard G. Soft G sound J, J-A-M, gem, J-A-st, gist, sp-o-n-g-e, spongy, J-A-n-j-er, ginger, J-A-p-s-e, gypsy. Here are some more examples of soft G. There are some exceptions to soft G rule. For example, in the words get, girl, give, gift, G has hard sound in spite of it coming before E or I. So these are the few words that are exceptions to the soft G rule. There are some more examples of soft G exceptions. So we have seen the other sounds of G, C and Y, and I have updated the table accordingly. So this is the summary of what we have seen in the video. We've seen the other sounds of the consonants Y, C and G. Y is always a consonant at the beginning of a word or of a syllable, and it is a vowel if it is present in the middle or at the end of a syllable. Y as a vowel on its own sounds like short I, E, long E, long I. And the concept of soft C and soft G, if C is before E, I or Y, it sounds like the letter S. And if G is before the letters E, I or Y, it sounds like the letter J. And C has no unique sound of its own. It either sounds like the letter K or the letter S. If you have learned something new from this video, please like, share and subscribe. Knowledge shared is knowledge multiplied. Thank you.